Do you like basketball? Basketball, no.
Mm-hmm.
I like, but I'm not good at. Yes, I'm not.
Me too.
Me rejecting cookies, just being like, oh, yep, you definitely don't have this information already. Thanks for asking me whether or not I'm allowed to give it to you. Yeah, I love just how it's so consensual being on the internet, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if I turn off my YouTube watch history, they have no clue what I'm doing in there. They have no clue that I'm looking up.
Judy Hopps.
And well, that was a little moment for the audience to insert a little funny
their
moment
own.
there. Guys, post a funny edit. It's like, you remember when Shia LaBeouf did the
Don't
green
let your
screen?
dreams.
Yeah, that's like, they'll put a moment and so people will edit it and they'll be like, giant milkshake or something like that, and it's like, what the heck?
Okay.
That's not even what I was thinking about. Come on.
It's so crazy how you used to just blow up on the internet and like nothing would happen. Like if that Shia LaBeouf shit happened now, I feel like they'd structure like a commercial campaign around it.
Well, what did happen with that? Because, well, it used to be you blow up on the internet, you go on Ellen.
Yes,
and then
we've
done.
talked about Ellen.
Yeah.
The sycophantness of her, the alpha dogness of Ellen, the mean host. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like even for the shit that like wouldn't have made it to Ellen, I feel like there's some. I don't know though. At the same time, commercials are terrible now, but I guess they were back then too. Guys, comment down below what the best part about getting older is.
I listened to there's a podcast that has a couple guys from Rooster Teeth, and they were like OGs back in the day. They blew up in 2003 on the
Holy
internet.
shit.
They're the first people making internet money ever.
You couldn't
And
even say blow up back then because of 9/11. You had to say they got big on the internet. And so now,
they got 1 billion hits. This is what they were saying.
Whoa,
back then.
okay.
They went viral. And now we can't say viral because of the pandemic.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to talk about this stuff. They've just taken all these words out of our vocabulary.
Yeah, guys, come up with some new words we can use.
Come up with some slang just for State of the League, guys. Comment that down below. Comment your contribution to our slang vocabulary. Maybe we'll start using it.
They've talked about how hard it was to actually like make money because there was no blueprint for how to do anything, and there were no systems in place.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no like Shopify or anything. They had to build systems for like literally anything they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And,
you get like you're averaging like 1 million views a video and nothing is happening because
happening.
there's no AdSense. There really wasn't even commercials on YouTube for a long time, I feel like.
No.
Because I have a
and there was a stigma for a while where it's like you're a sellout. Like Smosh, I swear to God, if you guys start putting ads on your videos, you're literally a sellout.
If Food Battle 2009 has a commercial in front of it, I'm sending something in the mail, an angry letter to your headquarters in Los Angeles. I have a distinct memory of like being in middle school and being like, YouTube's just like TV but better. And it was like this weird moment where streaming had not arrived yet, and so back in the day TV was
better back then than what was on YouTube.
I don't mean like in terms of the quality of stuff, because like the YouTube shit that was being cranked out, it was like Smosh was like the cream of the crop or whatever, and that's not as good as like Breaking Bad or something, obviously. But
well, I'm just thinking like Drake and Josh versus Fred.
Oh my god. Yeah, but like I just mean, to me, old TV was straight up like radio levels of commercials where you got like 5 minutes of your show, and then you got like 2.5 minutes of commercials. And with YouTube,
what was it for a 30-minute split? Was it 2010?
Probably, yeah. Because if you go back and watch like an old Drake and Josh episode on streaming with no commercials, I think it averages out to 20 minutes. So that's insane to me to have. But
it was good. It was good to have a little break, little pee break. little snack
I
break.
guess, but like, if you don't need to pee or go get a snack, you're just sitting there. And especially back then, with like no phone or something, just no stimulus for 2 minutes, I'm gonna die.
I mean, come on, the commercials were sick. They were Pop-Tarts killing each other, Nerf.
Floam. You remember Floam?
A little bit. Is it? I think so.
It was like this weird, like they were
different colors, right?
And goop, and you could like put them. Like the commercials always had kids putting them on like their bikes or stuff, and it was like you could decorate shit with it. I was like, my parents would get really upset if I did that to my bike. But yeah, YouTube didn't have any of that. And the old YouTube app that was just like the TV logo before YouTube launched like their own shit, and they were just like an app that came preloaded on the phone or the iPod or whatever. That YouTube app was based because you could like look up an album on YouTube that somebody just like ripped and uploaded, and you could play it like it was a normal streaming app. Like you could turn your phone off and just press play, and the video would continue to play like normal. But then they shut for money. To start making money, they shut all that shit down.
Wow, fake. They switch up.
I know. I never expected YouTube to sell out. Damn it.
So I don't know what's better, to be making money on the internet today, where we can just sign up on Patreon.com and post to TikTok. They have the systems already set up and don't have to do anything really, but they snatch up your money.
They take a cut.
Guys, we have hundreds of dollars that we can't touch from the Patreon because Apple is like, nah, you gotta wait 75 days. For that.
We gotta make sure this isn't fraud. And it's like, dude, none. We've literally never had a fraud in our Patreon.
I'm good for it. You'll get it one day.
You'll get it. Just I owe you $700.
You know we're not locked in on it, so they could be siphoning that right up.
I mean, truly, like we are not we don't pay attention to any of that. So like, $1,000 hits my bank account, and I would just be like, "Geez, Patreon's kind of light this week. I don't know what's going on."
So I don't know if it's better to be today and be making a very minimal living on here, or to be in 2003 and like not even have to go the internet route, just work at the local paper and just go to high school basketball game, be like, well, Rodney, what's a good generic last name? Rodney Johnson. He's going to DePaul University, not DePaul. DePaul.
Okay. He's got a full scholarship to the local Division II, and it's like, damn, I'm getting $40,000 a year, and my rent's $500. Okay,
he shoots 82% at the free throw line, up from 74 last year. It's been wonderful.
It's a school record, 84% at the line. He's averaging 15 points per game. He's the greatest player in the history of our program.
Oh, God, it would have been so sick.
I'm more record store pilled. My ideal past life, I'm thinking late 90s. I work at a record store, and pretty much everything about my life is exactly the same. So, but like, I guess I wouldn't be able to be on the internet at that point. So like, I probably get into. Well, I'm still into sports, I would assume. So, like, the 90s NBA, that's pretty sick. I'm having a good time, even though the Bulls are pissing me off. But I would be a good hater of the Bulls, for sure. And then maybe, like, comic books I could get into or something. Or, like, going to the movies was a bigger deal back then. I just feel like there was different shit to, like, I don't know. Like,
well, are we, with AMC A-List, are we in the best time to go to the movies? Because... it's you reserve your seat. People forget. Just first comes first served back then, and then
that is fucked up.
There was less movies, and it was more crowded. I don't want to be in a full movie theater ever again.
I don't know. It was like there's definitely parts of a crowded theater. If you get a good audience for a good movie when it's like very recently released and nobody's seen it. That is a fun communal experience. Like hearing the crowd be like, whoa, oh, what, oh my God. And back then people people now are animals. Anybody who you
Yeah.
run into on the street in public, there's a 40% chance they like would bite you if you ran into them or something. And so like back then, I feel like if somebody, you know, got a pager, their pager went off or something, the whole theater would be like, "Shut up! Shut the fuck up!" It would then be a communal experience of like bullying this person who's ruining, you know, the public quiet.
I got The Last Dance on in the background. They're showing some White Sox stuff. That reminds me, Jerry Reinsdorf, the Thought King himself, has agreed to a deal, but it's an iffy deal. So he agreed to a deal with Justin Ishbia, brother of Matt.
Okay.
And I think Matt Ishbia is also going to be a significant investor, but it's the most ridiculous deal possible. Like, it sounds like he's going to back out because it sounds like he might pull a Glenn Taylor later on if they end up turning this thing around. But I was so excited to get the initial news. So here's what it is.
Okay.
The White Sox announced that Jerry Reinsdorf and Justin Ishbia reached a long-term investment agreement that establishes a framework for Ishbia to obtain a future controlling interest in the White Sox. And so he's going to make capital infusions into the White Sox in 25 and 26 that's going to be used to pay down debt and support ongoing team operations.
Okay.
And then from 2029 through 2033, Reinsdorf is going to have an option, but owner option to sell the controlling interest of the team to Ishbia for.
He's not going to do that.
For a 4-year window. I'm going to have to deal with. Am I going to do it this year?
Yeah.
And then after the 2034 season, Ishbia will have the option to acquire the controlling interest. And so 2034 is how many years from now?
2034? It's 50 years.
Well, wait. What are we? 9 years?
80 years. 2034. It's 100 years in the future.
Jerry Reinsdorf's 89. He better be dead by then.
Nah, he's living forever. Come on.
Oh, my God.
The dwarf? Are you serious? He's living forever.
In the event of any such future transaction, all limited partners of the Sox would have the opportunity to sell to Ishbia. In addition to Justin Ishbia, his brother Matt and father Jeff will also be significant investors. There is no assurance that any such future transaction will occur, and in no event will such a transaction take place before 2029. So they're like, nah, we could sell. Who knows?
Nah, we're not selling.
But yeah, and it's we can't talk about it for too long. I'll get too upset. But
okay,
the idea that this is a guy who's on record saying, I would trade all 6 Bulls championships for another World Series, for one World Series. And he cares about the White Sox more. Like,
he's not
open
selling
about it. Why is he willing to sell them and not the Bulls?
Whoa, calm down, dude. Calm down. The Nats are doing pretty good. And I think the Mystics are too. Washington sports, besides the big one, is, well, basketball. It's not even the big one. NFL is the big one, and they're pretty good there.
They got rid of Dan Snyder. They got rid of Dan Snyder, and things immediately went back to normal.
Hell yeah.
You
don't even know a time before. You're like a child raised after the fucking Clone Wars, just full on in the Empire. You know nothing besides Darth Sidious being like, butts in seats. That's what I'm worried about. None of this fucking rebuild crap.
I went on the Bulls subreddit, see if they talked about it. I was hoping like, oh, my uncle works for Reinsdorf, and he says this guarantees the
Is
Bulls
that a
sale
big?
or
Is that
something
everyone
like
knows
that.
each other in Chicago?
Pretty much. And Reinsdorf, like, I mean, he's like a local guy. He's apparently he's an incredible guy to work for because he doesn't care about results.
Okay.
he just likes people, and so if you work for him, you don't have to succeed or anything. He's great.
Did you see Trump and Elon Musk are beefing?
About what?
About, I mean, all sorts of stuff. It's just like these idiots finally kind of, they have beef now.
That doesn't surprise me.
Let me see, because okay, this is, and they've been like, actively going at it. God, I have Elon blocked, so I have to fucking like type in his name to go find it. Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Elon Musk is like retweeting onto his main feed polls that are like, who is right, Elon Musk or Donald Trump? And he's just been like going back and quote tweeting a bunch of Trump's shit about like, well, the debt is bad, national debt's bad, and we're gonna cut it, and we're gonna fix all this stuff from when Trump was like actively running, and that is, in terms of the Elon Musk is autistic headcanon that so many people like project onto him, never realizing that politicians are lying. That would be a pretty autistic thing to have happen. Being like, wait,
they're not supposed to lie to people like him.
People, what does that mean?
Billionaires who control everything.
Well, I guess he did lie. And
what is the disagreement about specifically? I didn't know, and I also didn't know he took it public. I know there's been a lot of
it's like full
about how they
public
don't
now.
like each other.
So I guess the disagreement kind of stems from the Republicans not being willing to like, Elon Musk is like, oh, I found some waste. All of this road management. You guys are spending $8 billion a year on asphalt. And the Republicans are like, well, we can't cut that. That's like critical infrastructure. And then Elon Musk is like, wow, I thought you guys were serious about slashing the budget, slashing this shit, and nobody wants to do what I say. And so then he just, Trump, fuck, I gotta go find it. My page just refreshed. There was,
I drove through a pothole yesterday that could have destroyed my vehicle.
Well, that's because we need that money for other stuff, so why don't you be a patriot, bitch?
Oh.
Trump said the easiest way to save money is to terminate Elon's subsidies and contracts. This was like 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
So Trump, like in response to Elon being online, being like, yep, they were fake, blah, blah, blah. Trump is now being like, okay, all of the stuff that we just did, that's like essentially the bill could be titled like, this is good for Tesla law. We're going to get rid of all that stuff, I guess.
No, that's epic.
This is cool that this is like reality now. How the it's just so frustrating. Like the kind of people that get fucking swindled into voting for this guy, I guess. It's just like, because part of me, I never want to be like elitist or stuff and be like, I don't know, like act smarter than other people or act like I know better, because I'm not a genius or anything. But then you like talk to some of these people who are like happy to have voted for Trump, and you're like, well, why do you feel that way? And it's just like, it's like you're talking to a toddler. It's insane. It's like, I don't know, he was mean to a guy that I don't like, and so now I'm gonna, sacrifice. I'm cool paying $80,000 a year more just to have that guy in a position of power.
And that is good also, because I feel like their support isn't that deep rooted. So they could be swindled easily into voting for the other side. I really think like every election is the Democrats are in complete control, and whoever they pick is like Kamala's a tanking pick. Like, we know that she sucks. Everyone knows she sucks and she's going to lose. But that's just what we're going to do. We just do that. Or it's like Josh Giddey. The Bulls and the Democratic Party are direct parallel.
That is a good one, actually.
If, like, literally, if they ran Bernie, they would have won both elections for sure. If they run, like, anybody, like, who's even a little... if they ran Walz, I think it'd be...
Yeah.
Because I was just listening
because he has the white guy boost. And, I mean, that's, like... If you want to talk practicality, it is extremely unfortunate, the reality that we live in, that even if Kamala was, like, a perfect candidate, would be massive behind the eight ball, being a woman of color. Much less, like, all of her actual, like, policies, and, like, every time she's on camera, it's extremely off-putting. But, yeah, even, like, Walz or whoever, it would have been... like, it just seems like a layup in retrospect. Well, and part of this is also Biden being like, I'm good, guys. I'm good. Like, clearly, like, he just walked out of the bathroom. He threw up in there. And he's like, guys, I'm fine.
Yeah,
I can drive right now.
The dude who won had dementia back then. And they were like, that we won with that guy. Everyone knew he was already done by then mentally, but he'd still beat Trump in 2020.
All right, and that was the trailer for this week's Patreon episode of the State of the League podcast. You can go to patreon.com/State of the League to find this episode, plus every other one we've ever put up on there. Join a Discord and get access to a bunch of different fun perks, as well as supporting me, Jack, Jokic Joestar, as well as Pablo Escobar financially. So thank you very much. Go check that out, please, and thank you.